Hello, everybody. Woo-hoo. I am here. I've got something very important to show you today, so bear with me just a second. It's on a little bit of a delay from my end, but I had to change the stream and there was a lot of funky stuff going on because there was a lot of information coming at me at one time. So for the viewer that left, it's your loss because I've got some important stuff to show you guys. First of all, who I am is not normal, right? So I want you guys to remember that. Hello, Jacinth. I'm glad you can see me. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I'm right on time too, even if everything was trying to come against me coming on today, let me tell you, for a reason. Uh-oh. What happened? Anyways, so for a reason, everything was trying to come against me today, and I know there's a little bit of a delay, and I don't know if something just happened to my thing. So let me know if you can hear me. Oh, okay, no, I'm still there. Please. Yes, all clear. Perfect. Thank you. So I have some information coming in, but first of all, let me introduce myself, okay? If you have found me, please hear me with an open heart and an open mind, not a shackled mind that binds, okay? Because who I am is not normal. I'm not like all these hundreds of other people, probably hundreds of thousands at this point, reporting on the attempted assassination, okay? I am and have been working diligently over the past 5 years through my own awakening. Hello, bringing through things that are not normal. Okay. We all know within the ascension right now, the world is strange, right? What is the ascension? Why are we here? What is happening? It seems like the world is falling apart. I can explain that a little bit. But I have a very important message today. So if you found me here, there is a reason. Okay. So please keep an open heart, because we are all being called home through the heart, right? That's the ascension, rising above, rising to unconditional love. With that being said, the first thing God wants me to say today, because I did channel and I have so much information to show you directly from what he wants me to show you. Okay. I need you to understand that this is coming directly from the source. For the information that I gathered, that I've seen, that I found, I'm myself mind blown, but not really, because I know what I've been doing since 2019. It is requested of you to be an observer, not a spectator. Okay. Be an observer, not a spectator. What does that mean? A spectator is to speculate. I'm here to place judgments. I'm here to have my own opinion. Don't do that right away. Okay. Just be an observer. See it, feel it, be it, and then do your research on what I'm going to show you. Okay. Because the shadow will always try to stop you. Always, always. And even just trying to set this up today, because so much was coming at me, a subscriber left, and that's okay, because the only ones who are going to be able to see clearly are the ones who observe rather than spectate. Okay. So when it's truly through God, it's a lot, right? It's very vast. It's very wide. It's very open. And it comes from a space only of unconditional love. Now, I love this person's thing is eyes wide open, right? All three. I love that. So if you can't come from a place of unconditional love, you're not going to be able to hear what I'm saying. Not all the way. You might hear something and it's going to spark judgment. So don't do that, because they're wrong about a lot of things. God does not judge. Not. He's unconditional love. That is the matrix, right? You've heard a lot about this 666 programming. Today, we're going to talk about the attempted assassination on Trump. I actually channeled about it. I asked God directly, what is going on? I didn't consider the work that I've done, although I know what I've done. I know when I know when I activated pyramids, and especially the ones in Kilimanjaro, Congo, British Columbia. I did things to the alignment of the presidential White House and how it is aligned in a specific way, how it acts in a specific way. And we undid all that. Okay. And I know that sounds strange, but it's true. It's on my channel, and I'm going to show you eventually where to find that. Let alone clearing Mount Shasta, part 1 and 2. In part 1, this painting behind me you see here is very relevant, and I did not paint that. In part 1, I went in and freed all these souls that were trapped. And then we ended up burning contracts back to Abraham Lincoln. How is that relevant? I'm going to show you. So those are some of the things that God wants me to touch upon, but he actually did give me a message directly about the assassination attempt. Who did it? They know now who did it. He's been identified, but that's just the shooter, right? Like, what was the motive? Why? What's going on? And so I channeled it, because one never knows, right? Could it be just a kookaluku? It could have been. But there was a very important message. And then after that, I got all this other information that actually went back to Abraham Lincoln and when he was assassinated. So I want you to think first off about all the presidents throughout history who have been assassinated. There is a common thread, okay? There is an absolute common thread. What is the common thread? They went against the 666 matrix. And God actually showed me this to be true, going all the way back to Abraham Lincoln, to what John Wilkes Booth actually said out loud after he killed him, okay? Which was sic semper tyrannis, right? Hello, Lisa. We're going to dive into that. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you, because I looked it up. I researched, and I know a lot of things. So first of all, 666. Does anybody know why the matrix is classified as 666? I'm hoping you all understand that the matrix is what's dying and falling, okay? We must rise out of that to stay. Good morning, Lisa. It only says 2 people are here, although 3 should be, so my numbers are always off. So please feel free to comment. 666 speaks loudly to like the programming, the mind control, right? What people like to call the sheeple, which I don't like, because that's insulting and it's a judgment. And we were all born into this place of shackles that bind you. Okay. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to try to go slow because I'm so excited. And there's some very important stuff I have to show you today. So please have patience with this information and with what I'm about to show you. I'm going to be sharing my screen. I have a video of the shooter that he spoke before he murdered or attempted to murder Trump. I have the statement God wanted me to show you from John Wilkes Booth before he did assassinate Abraham Lincoln. So those that did the work, Lisa and Descent, if you're still here, you guys witnessed, took part in, and watched me do these things from the time I was doing it, right? So when I cleared Mount Shasta, I had to burn the contract to Abraham Lincoln. But why, if that's supposed to be good? Why would I do that in the Return of Christ work if that's supposed to be good? It wasn't. And John Wilkes Booth tells you exactly why he did it in the term sic semper tyrannis, which is Latin. Sic represents the number 6, by the way. 666 is our mind control. Okay. So when you go against the government or the mind control, they eliminate you. Are y'all following me now? There is a delay. I know that. And I'm about to give you the channeled message first, and then I'm going to show you what God showed me to show you. Okay, so please stay with me. This video is going to be quite entailed, and it's going to take eyes wide open, just like this person that is here with us today. Okay, but this is not just your 2 eyes, because whatever lens that you have is going to determine what you see in the reality. So some people are going to look at this one way, and some people are going to look at this another way. Some people are looking at the ascension one way, and others are going to look at it another way. Some people are going to look at my work, right? My work, my videos, the workshops, and they won't even click play and watch the whole thing through because immediately they're going to judge. Okay. So your lens is going to determine what you can see. Eyes wide open, including the internal eye, will help you. Okay, this is why they block your pineal gland. Everything they do is try to block that gland. Because if you can't awaken, my friends, if you cannot see clearly to rise above it, you won't be able to make it. Okay, that is number one goal that you want to hold space for. So Jacinth says, yes, I witnessed all of what she speaks of through various workshops that transpired over the past 5 years now. Can you believe that? Since 2019. It's gone so fast. I keep saying 3 years, 4 years. Nope, it's 5. So I'm going to slow down and just take a moment and let you guys observe what I've said so far. This painting right behind me here was painted by somebody else. Her name was Martina. When I had my awakening, she was in learning what she could do, right? And so we did a healing exchange. And in that, she channeled my energy and she told me everything she saw. She's like, I see this portal and I see these souls flying out and I see you and I see Saturn. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And she's like, I don't either. And then about 3 weeks later, it showed up at my door. She felt the call to send it to me. I didn't ask her for it. Oh, I got chills. I didn't pay for it. I didn't even know it was coming. She painted what she saw in my energy. This is me. And if you know me, my hair is that long, like for the reals, like it's very long. This came later. Okay. Shortly after this happened, I started doing things to the earth, not just healing people in ways I never knew possible. Okay. I have to explain this because it's going to give you more insight into who I truly am. We are looking for a man named Jesus, which is a religious complex. It's not that he didn't exist. He did, but he also existed with his twin flame, Mary Magdalene. So you are looking for twin flames, masculine and feminine, and all that actually plays out on my channel. This is a depiction of Mount Shasta. And you see this angel, this is an angel that's all black right here going in the mountain. In part 2, I burned Samael. Okay, he was the original fallen. Now hear me. Somebody left when I start talking about this. At least it shows you did. You guys, if you can't stay and listen to every detail and keep your heart open, you're going to shut down to the light. Because what I say is vast and it's proven in so many ways. But you have to be willing to observe it rather than spectate it. Okay? In Mount Shasta Part 1, it's on my channel, in my playlist. I went there I don't know what I was doing. I just was called to go there. I started clearing it. I freed all these souls. This is relevant. First, I sat on Saturn and freed Atlantis. Then we went to Mount Shasta and I freed all these souls, hundreds of them. That was part 1. And I undid the contract back to Abraham Lincoln. Part 2 came a couple years later, and all of those are on my channel. You can watch it unfold the whole way. And in part 2, I returned like the triangle with the eye back to Fiji. No coincidence there. The Truman Show even showed us that, right? And then I burned Archangel Samael underneath. This is all relevant. Hear me. Okay. It's very relevant. So I really hope you can hear this in your heart because the shadow will block you. Anywhere you have healing to do, it's going to cause you to not see it. Okay. So be an observer, not a spectator. All right. Those are just some of the pieces. I'm not here to talk about the return of Christ stuff that I've done. I'm here to talk about the attempted assassination, although they do go hand in hand. Because Fiji, I cleared Fiji. We returned the root chakra back to Fiji, and I cut off life support to California, which is also why I was hearing the San Andreas fault very loudly yesterday. And in Mount Shasta Part 2, you will see California crack all the way down from the mountainside of Mount Shasta, fall in the water, and the water will come in through San Francisco. And people were screaming and crying, and then other people got the download of what I did. So it's all real, whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. Because only those that can be an observer and not a spectator are going to survive this whole entire return of Christ, okay? So I think I've given enough backstory. Let me go back now and tell you what God said about the assassination attempt on Trump, okay? Recently, I did a video on Trump versus Biden, and what it said in there was from demise to rise. Do not be fooled, okay? I also know that around the time I was clearing Mount Shasta, what I would do after my awakening is come outside of my body. It's not like remote viewing. It's almost like astral traveling in the daytime. I would come out of myself and go places in the earth. That's how I do this stuff. And at one point, I actually went and gave a paper, right? I'm not going to go into too many details about that because I know most won't believe that. And I don't need you to believe that. But now I know what that paper kind of was, because he got in trouble for having papers he shouldn't have years later. Okay. So listen to me. God said, this is directly from God. And if you throw judgments, it's okay. But it will block you. It is an inside job. Okay. Inside job. And I can see people come and go. They can't see past their shadow. You will not be able to see past your shadow. Judgments are not of God. He is unconditional. Okay. All the work that I did is very, very, very relevant. And it's all in the Ascension playlist. Clearing Mount Shasta, freeing Jesus's soul, burning contracts back to Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, which actually goes back to John Wilkes Booth and what he said when he killed him. Think of every president that was assassinated and why. Right? Some are going to see this through the correct lens and some won't. So my throat is going wonky whenever spirit does that to me. It's because I need to slow down and watch what I say. So I'm going to do that. Too all over the place, they're saying. I get that, but there's so much information. I just want you to know it all. Okay. All right. Here's a channeled message. It's an inside job, which I'm sure some feel that, right? Democratic Party aligned, elite soldiers at play to demolish what is coming their way. Up on the rooftop, it may seem is such a random placement. Not the case. See how big that's written? It was highlighted. Let me read that part again. Up on the rooftop, it may seem is such a random placement. Not the case. And I'm getting chills big time as I say that. That is relevant because they are actually saying that is the only place that wasn't protected. And how weird is that, right? With all this protection. Was planned for months and days to cause a rift and shift as before in familiar ways. I'm going to read that again. This was planned for months and days to cause a rift and shift as before in familiar ways. Pay attention to the man behind the screen. That's relevant because God always points to the Truman Show and the Wizard of Oz. Pay attention to the man behind the screen, right? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtains, right? I'm here to fool you. It's like a play. Soldier who worked for Democratic Party. Trump has things up his sleeve they know are on their way. So many chills, it's taken my breath away. And in order to survive this is their common ways. Demise unfolding piece by piece. Be an observer, not a spectator. Now I'm going to share my screen and show you something very important, okay? This is the video I'm about to show you was the actual assassinator, the one that they did kill on the roof. He did a video right before he did it. And I found it and I want to show it, especially before they take it away. So let me get to where I can share my screen with you. And then I'm going to show you what he said. Then I'm going to explain again what John Wilkes Booth said. So the screen you see before you, this is the assassinator. His name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. Okay, he is the one that shot the fires. Now, Trump was shot in the ear. Luckily, he did not die. He's highly protected because he is part of the demise. Okay, he is part of exposures. He is part of bringing truth, just like all the others before. So hear me. This person recorded this. I want you to listen very, very, very carefully. Let me make sure I have it loud enough. I hope you can hear it. I'm going to turn my volume up. It might beep in your ear, so just be careful. It didn't yet. Okay, ready?
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Hear it again.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
You got the wrong guy. I'm going to play that one more time.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
You got the wrong guy. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. He's a registered voter as a Republican. But I want to show you something else now. Just like Booth. Now, wait. Booth said something else very important I'm going to go over with you, okay? But hear this. This guy, originally, he's young. He was a young kid, so easily malleable, right? Okay, first of all, I don't care whose side you're on. These guys are amazing. Would you want to put yourself out there to get shot before somebody else? I mean, who can do that, right? My heart does go out to them. What I'm going to tell you is the assassinator, the person who fired the shots, actually did kill somebody. Somebody in the audience did perish. And it also got Trump in the ear. And you just saw that happen. He was originally registered in the Republican Party, and then he donated money to the Democratic Party. Let's listen again.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
You got the wrong guy. What's he telling you? There is no sound on the video? What do you mean? This one? You can't hear it? Or do you mean this one? Because they're not saying anything. It's just music. They're not saying anything. So it's all reading on here. The New York Times reported that all roads leading to the house had been closed off. Okay, so there is no words. It's all in writing. Okay. So the New York Times reported that all roads leading to the house had been closed off. Oh, all his relatives, including his father, will not comment. His father actually said that he's waiting to understand what happened before he makes any comments. So did his family know? Maybe not, right? What I feel happened, yeah, there is no sound on this one. I can probably try to find a different one. But what this one is telling you is that he donated money to the Democratic Party. Okay. Let's look at this one. This one's short. Let's watch this one.
Take a look at what happened.
Can you hear that one? Awesome, Roger. So there was no sound because there was no words in that video. So I'm sorry. That's why I went to this other one. So what that was showing you right there, those numbers, is the gunshots. So he shot more than once, right? So he was not an expert marksman, but he also was shooting from like 100 and some yards away. All right, let's watch.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans.
Oh, they have it
I
on
hate
here.
Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
So you still couldn't hear that? You should be able to hear that. Anyways, I will recap it for you since there seems to be some kind of issues with Zoom does that. For some reason, it doesn't pick up all of the things that I'm showing. You heard him say that, right? Verify with me. You heard the shooter say, you got the wrong guy. That is subliminal. Let me know you heard that. That is one of the most important parts. The other part was, Lisa says the talking of Matthew. I don't know what that means. So he literally said, my name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Trump. I hate Republicans. And you got the wrong guy. Okay. That's what he says. What they are saying about him is he is 20 years old. Okay. He just basically is a baby right out of high school. This guy is so young. So he is impersonable, right? Like he can be easily probably shifted in his thought process, I would assume, especially where things like money and things like that are involved. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Okay. I feel like that's the most important part, because why would he say you got the wrong guy? Now, God says what? What did God say? Inside job. Democratic Party aligned. And what does he say? I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And you got the wrong guy. Okay. It is sad to me that somebody did perish in this. Thankfully it wasn't Trump, because he does have things to say. I know that for a fact. He has things to oust. Okay. I'm going to show you something else really quick. This is the whole entire path that came through me of doing the stuff for the ascension. Okay. Jesus's soul was freed. I know who killed him. It was an inside job too, right? Clearing Mount Shasta. These are relevant, and I do recommend you watch them. However, I'm going to skip all the way past my twin flame journey and all that kind of stuff that happened. Okay. And we're going to go to this one. Pyramid activations. Colombia, Congo, Mount Kilimanjaro, White House demolished. Okay. So what I've been saying for many years, because this one was done about a year ago. All the pyramid activations have been playing out since 2019. Clearing Mount Shasta Part 1 started in 2020, I believe. So the way that manifesting works, the way spirituality works, is it plays out in your energy. It's like a boomerang, right? We call it forward and it plays out. The work that I did is now playing out piece by piece. Okay. Understand that, because it's quite complex. In Mount Shasta Part 1, those that did the work with me can validate this. Hi, Amy, you're good. Oh, Amy missed it, you guys. I'll play it one more time before I get into it. Right before I showed you what John Wilkes Booth said and what the Emancipation Proclamation was, I will play it again. But clearing Mount Shasta part 1, I didn't understand this at first. Those that did the work, you can watch the video the whole way through. If you listen to everything, I had no idea what I was doing. It was coming through me. I didn't understand it at first. It took me doing all of it to process it and to understand what the totality of this is. It's not just a man named Jesus, okay? It's doing it all the way back to the beginning of time. And he was a twin flame, right? We can't forget masculine and feminine aligned, the Ankh. Hence why it was broken cross. Anyways, in clearing Mount Shasta part 1, I undid and burned the Emancipation Proclamation. It went all the way back to Abraham Lincoln. Why? Listen to this one more time because Amy didn't hear it. Ready?
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Yes, Amy is right. So at one point, I actually had to protect Trump. We put a bubble around him and we grounded him. And this was way before in the first round when he was still president. And then actually there was an attempted assassination then too. He was shot at or something, but they missed. Yes, and on a live, I had to do that to protect him. And then shortly after he was shot. This time though, they didn't have me do any of that. But now listen to this. Okay. So the Emancipation Proclamation, let's look into that. When John Wilkes Booth murdered him, he said specific words. Okay. And for some reason, God wanted me to see that. I don't know where I had it. Here it is. John Wilkes Booth famously shouted, "Sic semper tyrannis." It's Latin. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? So I looked it up. Depending upon what source you listen to, there's two different meanings to it. Sic represents the number 6. 666 is representative of the matrix, the fallen, okay, the mind control. Number 6, even in tarot, means the mind. Okay, so whenever you like pull numbers of 6, it means to keep your thoughts positive. That's the only way out of the shackles that bind, is don't let them get you in the mind. Don't let them fool you. Okay. Don't pick up any darkness. Don't pick up judgment. Don't pick up anything. God does not judge and God does not agree with bloodshed. He is unconditional love. We should not sacrifice. We should not be divided. There should be no control, and they should never manipulate your free will. Ever. Just like the V did. If you don't take this, I'm going to cut you off from life support, money, whatever it may be, your job, everything. Those are not God. Okay. Sic semper tyrannis means they considered him tyranny against the government. Okay. This is what it means. Tyrannical leader will inevitably be overthrown. Bad but justified outcomes shall befall tyrants. Let's read that again. Bad but justified outcomes shall befall tyrants. Sic semper tyrannis. 6, number 6. Bad but justified outcomes should befall tyrants. That is not God. God would never do that. God even tells you the justice system is not justice at all. They're so corrupted, and it's not an eye for an eye. Then that becomes your karma. Do you feel me? You don't make other people's karma your karma. The end of ways, or what some would call the end of days, is karmic based. Okay, you reap what you sow. God is not coming with the hands of justice and saying you're worthy and you're not. Everybody's worthy. Oh, thank you, Roger. Recently in a healing on Sunday, I protected around Trump. Is that what Amy's saying? It was recently? So recently I did put a protection around Trump, you guys, and it was on a live. Can you guys find that and put the link in the comments? Because I have like 12 different things up here. I would really appreciate you if you could do that. I know that's a lot to ask. So I forgot about that, Roger. Thank you. And Amy, I think, was trying to say that too. I did that a long time ago, and so I thought that's what you guys were saying. But recently, apparently, they had me put protection around Trump. I'm getting chills. I'm getting so many chills. Oh my God. Thank you for those that watch and listen very diligently to what I do, because it's quite complex. Thank you. So is this making sense to you guys? They are literally saying, and they're pointing to every assassination attempt or succeeding throughout history being those who go against the government control. Okay. Now let's look at the Emancipation Proclamation. All right. April 14th, 1865 is when he was shot. Okay. Where's this? It was finally put into law around the time after he died. What does that mean? Well, I will tell you. Something 6th of 1865, it opened the door to free slaves and create the way to abolish the idea of slaves in general, which is a lie. Okay. This is a lie. If you break down the Emancipation Proclamation, that's not what it means at all. Okay. Where did it go? I had it on here. Okay. Lincoln believed slaves should be emancipated as early as 1849. And had proposed a gradual emancipation program. This was his proposal. He wanted to set people free. Don't get me wrong. He died because of that. Okay. So if you really break it down, it declared that enslaved people in states rebelling against the United States were free, and that the executive government would recognize and maintain their freedom. But that's not what it was. Okay. Certain states were not allowed to be freed. Okay, you have to really break it down through every detail. So they were prevented from giving military aid and political recognition to the Confederacy. When you break it down completely, so these states, the proclamation included some exemptions, however, leaving an additional 300,000 slaves unemancipated. Are you hearing this? So they make you think that it freed everybody, right? They make you think that it freed people of color, which in truth, if you look at your DNA, we're all a little bit mixed up in many things, right? And truly, it's very rare to have 100% something. And usually those are a lot of Native Americans, but not all of them, right? We're all a little bit of something. The proclamation included some exemptions, however, leaving an additional 300,000 slaves unemancipated, including Tennessee, which had mostly returned to Union control, Virginia. This is key. Hear me clearly. Virginia. Guess what Virginia's motto is? Sic semper tyrannis is Virginia's motto. Okay. I don't remember where I wrote that. It's in here somewhere. You can look that up. Virginia's motto is sic semper tyrannis. So bad but justified actions will take you out if you go against, okay, the government. That's what it means. So regardless of what Abraham believed, that's not what they did. They killed him right before they made it legal, whatever this lying thing is, right? Now, if you watch my Ascension playlist, when I undid the Holy Grail, it was not holy at all, and it was not a cup. It's a contract. And they stole the blood of Jesus to write it. And that enslaved all of mankind. That's what broke apart their souls and ripped apart the Ankh. It's true. It's right here. And I didn't know that was coming. Okay. But it all makes sense. And then I was like, oh, the Ankh is the true cross. And I was mind blown because this was all my awakening. Okay. It's all there. So if you guys can find that live. So apparently recently I did a live where I had to put a protection around Trump. If you find that live, I will give you a free healing. If you can find that live for me and put it in the comments, I will gladly give you a free healing. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've had healings with me before or not. If you can find the video recently in a live where I gave Trump a protections where they called for me to protect Trump right before this assassination attempt, you will have a free healing. Because I forgot. Everything I do is channeled. I have to process it. I have to go back and see it. Okay. So here you have proof that the Emancipation Proclamation was a facade. It's not what they told you it was. Okay. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth right before it was put into their legality pool. However, it's not what they said it was. So there are certain states, like I said, that were not included in that Emancipation Proclamation. Okay. What did it say? Virginia being one of them, New Orleans, and 13 parishes of Louisiana, which were mostly under federal control. So Tennessee, Virginia, New Orleans. Virginia's motto is sic semper tyrannis. Means anybody that goes against the six, the mind control, will perish. And even if it's bad, it's justified because they're going against us, the tyrants. Okay. That's why Abraham Lincoln was murdered. And that's why I undid his contract, because it wasn't his. Okay. He died in 1865, April 14th, 1865. Sic semper tyrannis was mentioned by John Wilkes Booth after shooting him. Okay. The Emancipation Proclamation began when Abraham wanted to free everybody, okay, but did not solidify until right around the time he died. He issued it in 1863, but they didn't sign it in fully until 1865. And you can look that up. So here it is. Lincoln considered the Emancipation Proclamation to be the crowning achievement of his presidency. He was proud that he wanted to set people free. His heart was pure. That's why he was murdered. He went against them, which, if you know anything about Trump, what is he doing? What has Trump been doing the whole time? He's been going against them. So Roger says, right after I did the 13 days of healing, I did a live. It was a live healing. And that's when Spirit asked me to put a bubble of protection around Trump. So this was just in the last month or so. On this channel, in one of my lives, you will find it. Let's go. I'm going to show you where to find those. I'm sure you guys know. I'm sure you guys are very familiar. In one of my lives, I put a bubble around Trump. God asked me to protect him. The assassination was not successful. They shot him in the ear. So here's my lives. So it would have been within the last month, right? So it's in one of these lives. And it was a healing. Healings occurred in this one. So I would say it's probably in this one on up. It's in one of these. I put up a protection around Trump because they asked me to. Might have been this one on Father's Day. I'd be quite interested to see if it was. Kurt Cobain song about the 4th of July. So it's in one of my lives, apparently, according to Roger. That's what Roger is saying. So it's probably true because I've done that before. But I don't remember everything I do. That's why it's all recorded, because it's channeled. A pure channel will not remember everything they did. If they do, they're not purely channeling. Their ego is involved. Their input is involved. So I would watch out for any healer, anybody like that. If they're putting their input in it, it's not pure from source. It was just before the one with Kurt Cobain. Okay. So you guys can do your research. It was just before the one with Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain, though, was not live, right? That's right here. Okay. The 4th of July, we had said don't do it. The Emancipation Proclamation came in that one as well. You guys, I burned that in Mount Shasta. That's not a joke. You'd have to watch that. Mount Shasta is in California. California has been cut off to life support through the earth flow. The earth is alive. Okay. And part 2 is where I burned Samael. If you want to know where to find those, very simple. Come right here to this Ascension Work playlist and you can watch them. Watch them. Watch the whole thing, listen to everything said, and then form your own opinion. Absolutely. Here is Mount Shasta part 1 where I burned the Emancipation Proclamation. That confused me because I'm like, wait a minute, Abraham's not, like, isn't he a good person? And I had to process that. I'm like, I didn't understand it. Now I get it fully. 6 Semper Tyrannis. Anybody who goes against the number 666 is what they call the mark of the beast, but it's mind control. Okay. Anybody, what does the word government mean? To govern and control. All right. We are going to govern you. We are going to tell you what to do. And if you go against it, we are going to absolutely try to kill you. And it says bad but justified outcomes should befall tyrants. Right. And Trump is the only one going against this since the last cycle, since what's his name came in place, Biden. Is this making sense? He went against, he said that voting was fraudulent. And then all of a sudden Biden was there and he was kicked out and he's been fighting his way back in since. He's not been quiet. He's not backing down. He's not doing anything like that. Okay. Now let's listen again very carefully to what this guy says. Supposedly he's a registered Republican, but then recently he donated to the Democratic convention. And there are no coincidences. Let's listen.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
That you got the wrong guy. Do you hear him say that? You've got the wrong guy. And look how he goes to the camera, you guys. When I saw this, like, Spirit put this in my lap. I'm like, where did it went? And I didn't want to take it down because I didn't want them to take it down. But apparently they have it in some videos too. So you can find it. But
my name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what?
You got the wrong guy. That's pretty strange, right? Like, that's telling you to your face that maybe I shot him, but I'm not the reason why. Okay. The Emancipation Proclamation did not free all people like Abraham wanted. Okay. It did not. It left 300,000 slaves unemancipated. And that was put in right before he died. Okay. It was finalized in the House in 1865. And when did Abraham Lincoln die? 1865. Which is why in Mount Shasta, I burned that contract. Not only did I do that, I undid the false concept of time, all the darkness to the moon, activated all these pyramids, both feminine and masculine. The Sphinx is not what they call the Sphinx. It's called Horus Return. Cleared the collective and individual shadow. When I freed Jesus's soul, I saw how he died. He was poisoned by John the Apostle, okay? He was not even buried. They poisoned him, they tortured him, they stole his blood and created a contract they called the Holy Grail. That enslaved all of mankind. This is why you'll find some videos that say Jesus was El Diablo. He wasn't. He was enslaved. They stole his soul. And that's what I was fighting for, you guys. I brought the anointing of the blood of Christ. You have to watch these. They're very, very detailed. Okay. And I got a walk-in DM in that process because he actually, my original wasn't rising. He kind of fought me through he was not awake enough. So I did get a walk-in through it. Then we completed it. Okay. But this one is also very, very, very relevant. White House demolished. One of the videos I did very recently talked about this upcoming Lionsgate portal. There is significance to why this stuff is happening right before this upcoming Lionsgate portal. This Lionsgate portal is one of the biggest shifts you have felt and you will never feel again. And if you're not ready, it can be very jarring, okay? Because as these energies come in, you see this image, it's burning, okay? What doesn't align can't remain. So I undid these contracts, the Emancipation Proclamation in Mount Shasta Part 1, what they called the Holy Grail, which was not holy at all. It wasn't a cup. The cup was relevant, but they fool you. They give you little bits of truth, and then they hook, line, and sink you. 666. I also talked about that, the significance of 666. Mount Shasta Part 2 is relevant to the painting behind me that I talk about a lot that I did not do. Somebody else did that painting before I did the work. Her name was Martina. And she sent it to me. It was my reading. Archangel Samael burned underneath Mount Shasta. It was filled with trap souls. And that is where I burned the contract from Abraham Lincoln. So think of a puppet master. They get in your head and they get you to do things and think things outside of unconditional love, outside of pure hearts and all connectedness, all one. That's Christ consciousness. All one, no separation, no division, no bloodshed, no pain. God does not judge. We are all loved. He wants every single one of us there, okay? Except for those through free will that don't want to go. Do you understand? Judgment Day is not judgment at all. It's your karma. You reap what you sow. So they're trying to stop Trump, just as they did all the other presidential candidates who went against their governed control. Okay, it's all right here. The proof is there. I talk about why not everyone will make it. Revelations 21:12. I dried the Nile, you guys, and most people come and go. They leave when I say these things because their heart is not clear enough. You have healing to do. You can only see where the shadow stops you to. 666, mark of the beast. Why you must know this for ascension. To make it through. To not be fooled by the deceptivity that they constantly befall upon you. The lies, the deceitful, the judgment, the division, the bloodshed. Bad but justified outcomes should not work. This is what they say. Bad but justified outcomes are okay, and they're not of God at all. They get in your head and they make you think outside of unconditional love, okay? John Wilkes Booth, also religion has to be removed. God is not a division and he's not found in the church. Why? They was created out of the division of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They ripped apart their souls. That's what broke the cross. The true cross is the Ankh. So all the other crosses with Jesus hanging on it, God showed me will burn. Okay. But you would know this because you watch all of these and you pay attention to them, right? And you don't judge. Your heart is open. Our eyes can see clearly. Okay. You guys need to realize that what I've done is very real. You've been called home. You've been called home to your heart space. You've been called home to let go of these shackles that bind you, the mind control of the matrix. And anybody that goes outside of that, including Trump, shall perish through tyranny, even bad but justified. Because it goes against their mind control. It goes against their lies and their deceitful measures to keep you all shackled and controlled. Okay. So this tells you everything. This tells you everything. I'm going to play this again, and then I'm going to read one more time what God said about it for those that missed it.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
You've got the wrong guy. He tells you right there. Okay. And apparently recently in one of my lives, I put up protections around Trump. God asked me to do it. Roger says that it was right before the time with Kurt Cobain. When I did the Kurt Cobain video, let's see when that was. You have to listen to what I say very carefully because it's very detailed. Okay, God is vast. Kurt Cobain was done 11 days ago. So it was probably what, last week, maybe? 8 days ago. Did you say it was, let me read your comment. It was right before. So it'd be in one of these. You can't take the matrix with you. The event is close. Free messages and donation-based healings. Does this look like it might be in this one, Roger? Those who can't see past the lies will allow judgments to guide their way. So it must be this one right here. It is a 3-hour video. So I don't really want to play it. But if you watch this video and I put protections around Trump 13 days ago, like Roger says I did, there you go. Okay. Trump is not of darkness necessarily. He's cleansing his soul by doing what he's doing. Okay. The matrix is what they call the 666. Sic semper tyrannis is what John Wilkes Booth said when he killed Lincoln. It means control of the mind. Anybody who goes against that tyranny of the six. Okay. The Emancipation Proclamation is not what they said it was. It didn't become law until after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. There's no coincidences. You're so welcome. And I'm going to read one more time what God said, okay? So please, you can check out this live. I don't remember it, but you guys, I channel everything I do. So if you watch this, I know it's 3 hours long, you can kind of skip through. I don't know when it would be. It's in one of my lives. Roger says I protected Trump. I've done that before too. I had to ground him before too, because he's here to help take it down. Okay. That's why they want to assassinate him. And not only did John Wilkes Booth shout loudly to his purpose, I feel like this guy did too. You got the wrong guy, he says. So maybe you killed the shooter, but you didn't kill the black tentacles of control, the 666. Okay. God says this. God says this. I channeled it right before I came on today. I was getting all this information that I've been showing you. Oh, and by the way, Trump actually did a video with Dr. Phil recently that I recommend you watch also. And they talk about how the courts were corrupted and what happened within the courts recently. It's very interesting. Let me show you really quick where to find that. God showed me that too, and I almost forgot to share it with you. That one is right here. Okay, it's on YouTube. It's 2 hours long, so I'm not going to play it here today. Dr. Phil interview with Donald Trump. Okay, some of it in there, I'm like, he's being very careful, but he also is very, very, very boisterous about it. Okay, they talk about how it was all manipulated. The justice system was manipulated. The judge was corrupted. And he talks about it very diligently. Okay, this happened. When did this one come out? June 12th. June 12th, he goes in and says it's all corrupted. It's all here. When did I put 13 days ago? I may have put protections around Trump. It's all here. Okay. There's so much to actually see if your eyes are open to see. But those in judgments are in the matrix, because God does not judge anybody. God is unconditional love. That's Christ consciousness. God is a masculine and a feminine, not just a man named Jesus. That is the religious complex. They fooled you. They lied to you. The reason he's on a cross with blood, because God is not bloodshed. God is not a divide, and he can't take your free will. So to say that, oh yeah, here's my son, he died for your sins, that takes your free will. That means you can do whatever you want and you're clear. That's not the case at all, okay? That is because they separated Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and they created a contract in his blood they called the Holy Grail, which enslaved all of mankind, and it was written in Hebrew. And you can watch that on my channel. I undid that Christmas Day of 22, and I didn't know it was coming. This is what God says about the assassination attempt one more time before I end this video. It is an inside job. Democratic Party aligned. Elite soldiers at play. to demolish what is coming their way. Anything that goes against the 666. Just like what John Wilkes Booth said. Upon the rooftop, it may seem is such a random placement. That is where the gunman was. Not the case. It was a setup. Because we're soon to announce him as the Republican candidate. Was planned for months and days. Oh, the chills, you guys. Woo! Was planned for months and days to cause a rift and shift as before in familiar ways. Just like I've been showing you. Pay attention to the man behind the screen. Things are never what they want it to seem. The false veil, the veil of illusion, the 666 shackles that bind, the mind control. Soldier who worked for Democratic Party. So they're calling him a soldier because he became part of their thing, right? But he worked for the Democratic Party. It is proven and shown that recently he actually, this one doesn't have any volume, but let me see if I can show where it says that he donated to the Democratic Party. Supposedly he was originally a Republican voter. Then he donated to the Democratic Party. Let's see what this says. Oh, you're not seeing this. Let me share my screen again. And go back a little bit because this is talking about him now and what happened. Okay, I'm going to read it to you because there's no words being said. So the 20-year-old who was shot dead by Secret Service agents. Matthew reportedly positioned himself 130 yards away from the stage. He was positioned on the roof of a manufacturing plant, 130 yards away. That was him. I mean, that blurry wasn't very good. One of his bullets reportedly grazed Trump's ear. The bullets got Trump in the ear. 20-year-old shooter, right? He was from Bethlehem Park, located 40 miles south of the rally, very close to there. So why not pick somebody close? Motive remains unknown, of course. I don't know if it's going to say it, but he donated to the Democratic Party recently. So originally, he was a Republican voter who then donated to the Democratic Party recently, said he hates Trump, and then also told you got the wrong guy. So if you got the wrong guy and he's dead, what does that mean? Let's finish this. Trump has things up his sleeve they know are on their way. And in order to survive this is their common ways. Demise unfolding piece by piece. Be an observer, not a spectator. Sic semper tyrannis means 666, number 6, tyrannical leader will inevitably be overthrown. Bad but justified outcomes should befall tyrants who go against the governmental throne. And what does Trump do? Speaks loudly against what is not true. Speaks loudly against what is not true. Lisa, I don't know. Did you watch it? You can't take the Matrix with you. The event is closed. Unless you watch it, I wouldn't make justifications about it. I don't know. Roger could be right. I do things in random places and locations just by when God calls it through. I don't remember because I channel everything I do. So you could watch it, right? If it's true, then 13 days ago, I put up protections around Trump. It would make sense. I know I did that years ago too, right before he was attempted to be shot at a long time ago, back in the first go round. I think that was 4 years ago. This one was a healing with God, Ascension Portal, Star of David. You can watch both of those. This one was only a week ago. Star of David, blueprint realignment, blue and white flame. So it could be one of those two in the lives. Let me show you. I'm not even showing you. I forget that. I like take off screen share and then I'm like showing you as I'm talking to you. So it could be this one. It very well could be. It was a 3-hour one. I do personal healings in there. You can even see how I do healings. More proof of who I am. And in this one, there was a healing with God, Ascension Portal. Okay. Star of David, blueprint realignment, blue and white flame, DM. So I'm not sure if it would be in that one either. If what Roger's saying is true, and I put up protections on Trump, he is pointing to one of these two. I'm not claiming that necessarily because I don't remember. It could be. I've done it before, so I wouldn't doubt it. Okay. I also said those who can't see past the lies, who allow judgments to guide their way, won't be able to stay. All right. Because that is the 666 matrix. Okay. So just don't do it. Right. So you can watch those. In those, I might put up protections on Trump. I don't know. That's what Roger says. I don't remember it to be true, but it could be. I wouldn't doubt it because I've done it before. Okay. Roger might be right. I know that Roger's been more diligent lately too. So watch that video. Okay. You have God's message. It was absolutely an inside job. I don't doubt anything that I get because everything that I've done has been proven to me to be true. But you have to watch. You have to be open-minded. You have to have an open heart and not let the shackles that bind you stop you, because that's what they do. Okay, those 666 is about mind control. It gets in your head and makes you think something that's not true. And anything that goes against that, six semper tyrannis in Latin means the number 6. Tyrannical leader will inevitably be overthrown. Okay, anybody who goes against the number 6 matrix will be overthrown. And they do it by bad but justified outcomes shall befall them. So they will murder you. But we should know this by now to be true, right? You should know that by now. If you go against them, you're defamed. Look at Hollywood. If you would go against any of their tangled web they weave through whatever means they have it, Hollywood, the media, the governmental complex, which will burn, by the way, it's not meant to survive. I undid its alignment with the Stonehenge. And in the return of Christ, we rebuilt Stonehenge. And this portal coming up is very much represented in that. Okay. This is a huge, massive event portal, massive amounts of Christ light, because I've returned all of that light back. And I've undone all these contracts. They have nothing left to stand upon, but they surely are trying to do this in their common ways of sic semper tyrannis, which is also Virginia's motto. Did you know that? Virginia's motto is sic semper tyrannis. I didn't know that until I was looking all this up. I was like, because I had to look up what that meant. I'm like, why am I seeing this? And that's wrong. They killed Lincoln right before it became law. Okay, so you need to pay attention to things. They killed Lincoln right before it became law, right before it was brought into the House in 1865. It was passed by the Senate in 64. Okay, hear me. The Emancipation Proclamation was passed by the Senate in 1864. Abraham Lincoln was shot April of 1865, and then it became solidified in the House in 1865. There are no coincidences. He who goes against the governmental control shall perish through justified but bad means. So not only did God give me the message, he proved it to me. I'm going to share the link to the Dr. Phil video. Oh, I don't know if I did, Lisa. I just meant don't say it might not be that one. People might not watch it then. I don't know if I did. I might not have. So no, don't worry about that. I don't know if I did put up protections on Trump. I really don't remember. I could have. If I did, then holy shit, badass, right? That's why he survived. God knew. And it might be God would put it in one of my lives. If that's the case, God would have absolutely snuck it in there for everybody who can see to see. For those who choose to see through free will rise. Those who choose to judge through free will be their demise. Okay, I don't care who you are. That's just the way it is. So I would just say don't say no for sure, because we don't want to stop people from watching it, because it could be. And even if it's not, you can see how I do healings and stuff. But it was a 3-hour video, so it very well could have been. Roger's been watching a lot lately, so it might be, right? I don't know if I did or didn't. Be careful, because you took that a little personal, Sunshine, and I didn't mean it personal. So let's clear that energy. Clear it and clear it now. There you go. Yeah. Oh, I get you. Not 100% me either. After that healing yesterday I had from Amy, I am not 100% coherent either. No way, Jose. I'm not. But don't worry. I'm not saying that it's not. It could be. It might not be. I don't remember doing it. I'm not going to claim I did because I don't remember, but I might have. I've done that before. 4 years ago, there was another shot at him, and we put up protections right before that too. So if you truly watch my videos, you're going to see all of this. But, you know, there's a lot of videos and there's a long time, so you have to invest some time in it. But truly, the return of Christ work would be worth that, wouldn't it? It would be worth that investment of time, because you found this for a reason. And what better way to rise through that, right? So remember, there's always more than meets the eyes. God wants you to be an observer, not a spectator. The live comments should always remain. I always check it to where they remain. If I don't, it's because it was like through my phone. Some of those might not. I'm going to look right now. Let's look. Let's check it out, Lisa. Because I do try to do that. When I set it up, I try to make it sure. Let's see if the comments are on this one. So this might be the one where I did. I guess I have to push play. Where I did the protection on Trump. But I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing because it's 3 hours long. So we have to wait till the comments come up, till they pop up. So let's see. You can't take the matrix with you. The event is close. Free messages and donation-based healings.
I have a message to share today that's very, very, very important. And
Let's
if
see what I
anybody
say.
comes and wants the messages and things like that, I do those for free today. But I need to talk about something very important, because there's a lot of misconceptions, right, to what the new earth is. So we have to talk about that. Okay. You cannot,
let's just
I
see.
repeat, you cannot bring the matrix with you. And the event is closer than you think it is. Okay. I saw somebody come on and then they left. So feel free to stay, right? Just stay, stick around and hear what I have to say. My name is Master Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am the return of Christ, and I'm not here making that up. I'm not crazy as that sounds. This is the 7th wave of creation. This is what they call the Great Reset.
Yes.
Okay. We are 111 when I said that. This is not the end of days for everybody, but is absolutely unequivocally the end of ways for all. Okay. It is the end of ways outside of God. And it is something to understand on a deeper level right now, because I have literally witnessed people being removed from the new earth. Okay. And the world outside of them as much. They listen more inward. All right. Since the eclipse, if you watched my video on the eclipse, I talked the whole entire time. God had me do a live video that day. And I actually rang in the eclipse. And prior to it, I talked the whole entire time about the return of Christ is. And then as soon as the eclipse hit, God had me do light language through the sun and the moon.
You guys, the reason I look this way is because I've been attacked so much during the return of Christ. It took everything I had. Activating the pyramids, I actually used my Kundalini light to do that, and my heart became enlarged. And then we had to do all these healings on it. I lost my twin flame because he chose the fallen, right? So Lisa, look, there is comments. So that's what I was waiting for. Do you see that? There is comments. I'm not looking at the comments right now on here. Let me see if I can pull them back up. There is comments showing up. So I'm not sure why you're not seeing them. And I don't know if I want to watch the whole 3 hours of this video, but Roger says it might be in this one.
And
This
I called everybody home.
might be a good place to
The
have
only
it too.
ones who are going to hear that call are the ones who are open enough in their heart above all. Okay. Those that are governed by love, not fear, not ego, not expectations, but love. Those that can see that something is wrong in the world around us. They don't let fear govern their choices.
For money
They
control.
don't let ego mind cloud their way. Those are the ones more likely to stay. Okay. You have to be in co-creative stance. That's what that means. They allow God to guide them. Even if they're confused on who God really is, because they lie and they lie and they lie to you. They know in their heart something to be true, and it may not match what is outside. So they're governed by their heart, not the shadow. Okay. The event is closer than you think. It's coming up. It's closer than you think. I know this. Okay. I had a lot of energies pulling against me. Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. I had a lot of energies pulling against me, and my DM and I almost ripped apart. I've spent 5 years connecting to my DM, and I even got a walk-in.
This seems like a really good video to watch anyways. And you can also see how I do healings. Okay. Lisa, I did check to make sure that the comments were showing. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe, or like they come as they come in the live. Does that make sense? So as you're watching a live, the comments will come up as they came in during the live. But I try to always include those because that way people can see. I have nothing to hide, right? Amy had to do a healing on me again yesterday, you guys, because the ascension is so real, and consider they don't want it to rise. So I get attacked a lot. Okay, Roger says it was in a recent live I did because he noticed that spirit had me put a bubble of protection around Trump because that stood out to me. Roger, I believe you. Something is telling me you are right. And if it wasn't 3 hours long, I would try to watch it. I'm like looking to see if I was doing like a quick meditation or anything, so I could watch that. I know I did healings on people, but I would assume it would have been right before that. I have a feeling it might be in this video. You're guys saying, yeah, I'm still sharing. I'll do that sometime. Sorry. I'm looking to see if we can find it because I would love to find that. Come on, Spirit. If it's here, show us. Show me where to go. Ooh, look it. My eyes are closed. Let's go right here.
He's there. I felt him in the morning, and I was so happy. Oh my God, I was so happy. I just cried. I didn't quite feel his love, but I know he was there.
Talking about my twin flame right there.
Me. So it was good. All right, so we have Lisa.
Let's watch really
Let
quick.
me tune into your energy.
Nope, then it
water.
goes into healing.
You need more water. You need more water, and you need sunshine. Excuse me. Lisa, you need water, and you need more sunshine.
All right, Roger, find it, and you can have a free healing. Okay? I don't care when you look at Roger's here too. I wish it would go through the comments because I would be able to see it. Let's look. Any hybrids, real or not? I saw a video months ago talking about the 20%. Let's look through the comments here to see if anybody mentioned it. Roger was in this one. Commenting he was here. So I don't know. if Roger can find it because he feels it. Oh, you can go through the script instead of the video, you guys. Because apparently I put up protections around Trump right before this assassination attempt. That I would probably do that. I've done that before. So on my lives, if you guys can find it, Roger, if you can find it, you get a free healing, 30-minute healing. Just post it underneath the video when you find it, okay? And I will look at your comments. I will keep my eyes open, Roger. Do you agree to this challenge, Roger? If you find that video today, soon as possible, so that I can show that I put up protections on Trump right before the assassination, you can have a free healing, because that's work, right? That's work. You're gonna have to go through it. Do you want that challenge? Do you accept it? And then just put a link in the comments under this video, and I will gladly set you up for a free 30-minute healing, which honestly I think would be very beneficial. I'm going to wait until I have your validation on that challenge. If you accept the challenge, it's on like Donkey Kong, my friend. Oh, you guys are looking at my thing. That's funny. There you go. Do you accept the challenge, Raja? Find the live where it says that. Show me exactly what time frame it says that. Put the link in the time frame in the comments under this video, and I will set you up for an immediately 30-minute healing. I will work you in my schedule as soon as possible. Deal? Because that's an exchange, my friend. Is Roger still here? I'm waiting. There's a delay, so I'm waiting patiently. I hope Roger didn't leave. Roger, where are you? I love that you can go through the script too. Amy says you can go through the script, y'all. So you don't have to watch the whole video. You can look through the script. I don't know about you, but I'm a skim reader. So I can like super read. It's down to 3 current viewers. So I don't know if there is an issue with the stream or if everybody's just leaving me at this time. But if Roger finds the video, hear me clearly. I really want him to validate that he hears me, because this is a challenge I'm putting out for him. That to me is an even exchange, my friend. And I would be glad to do a 30-minute healing on you. I'm going to reply to his comment. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, I'm going to go at Roger. He's not commenting. Roger. Here, I'm going to tag him. Anybody have any questions about what they found today? Any insight? Any boo-boo? That makes so much sense. I didn't expect all this to come through, especially about John Wilkes Booth and what he said. Oh, he's up for the challenge. Yay. Sorry, it's such a delay on my end. I'm so happy. All right, Raja. Yeah. Woo-woo. Oh, dear. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm trying to give you hearts, but technicalities. It's not letting me give them to you personally. Yay. He's like trying to tell me I'm up for the challenge multiple times over. Sweet sunshine. So find it, put the link, the time slot that it's out there in the comments under this video after the live. You should still be able to comment. As soon as I see that, I will book you for a 30-minute healing within the next week. Bye, Myra. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know that, Sunshine. I'm so glad you are open and here. Woohoo. All right, my friends. Stay safe in these upcoming shifts. Roger, especially you. We're going to get you in quickly, so find it right away, okay? All right, my friends. So much love. I'm so glad you guys were here. I love you lots. And I will see you next time. Take your time with this channel and with these things because it is very vast. Okay? Be an observer, not a spectator. Listen to those words very carefully. I observe, I watch, I pay it, I just let it be. I don't speculate. I don't judge. I don't throw my opinions in the moment. I observe, right? So be an observer. All right. So much love, you guys. I will see those later that are in my workshop at 3:33 Mountain Time today. So Amy and Lisa, 3:33 p.m. today. I will see you. May everyone have a spectacular weekend, and hopefully I will see you very soon, Roger. I'd be happy to see that video. I will post it I will show it in a video if you find it. So as soon as you find it, I will come on again and show it, that part of it. Okay? I really need it. So don't hesitate, all right? Do it right away. All right, my friends. I love you.